Harold Albrecht is a Conservative Member of Parliament and member of the Special Joint Committee on Physician-Assisted Dying. He joins us now from Ottawa. Mr. Albrecht, how did the committee reach the recommendations in the report?
Well, there's no question that from the perspective of someone who's worked for many years on suicide prevention initiatives, that the committee report went far too far in making a very permissive regime.
How do you mean?
Well, there's no safeguards there for mentally ill. My primary concern is for those who have gone through a severe period of depression or have faced mental health challenges for a number of years. These are not totally curable always, but they certainly are remediable in the sense that life does get better. All of us have gone through difficult challenges in our lives, and what we don't need at a time like that is someone to come along and offer a solution that actually is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. So I'm very concerned, particularly for those who are facing mental health challenges, who have psychiatric underlying issues that need to be dealt with. The committee does not talk about the need, if someone with mental health challenges does request physician-assisted dying, it does not talk about the need for a psychiatrist to be involved to be sure that that person has the capacity and the ability to actually make an informed decision.
It does talk about, however, two doctors, both in agreement.
Correct. It's two doctors. My opinion is that there should be two doctors who are totally independent of each other, and that if there is, in the case that there is an underlying psychiatric condition, that it cannot simply be two medical doctors who have no specialized training in recognizing whether or not the patient has the capacity to give consent to that event.
Conservative MPs made their own report. Why did you feel that was necessary?
Well, especially because the committee itself has a very permissive regime that does not have the stringent safeguards that actually the court actually mentioned it in its report. We need to have a system that has stringent limits, that is scrupulously monitored. And we feel that the main report goes way beyond Carter. For one thing, it extends the right to die to people without terminal illness. It extends the right to die potentially to minors in the future, and this is definitely beyond what the Carter decision called for.
As we mentioned, the Conservatives put together their own report. Do you have any concern that the issue of doctor-assisted dying could become a politicized issue?
Well, I hope it's not, because it certainly shouldn't be a partisan issue. It's a political issue, obviously. It's something that every Canadian is concerned about. My basic concern is that in other jurisdictions that have authorized physician-assisted suicide, while they said they would have stringent safeguards to begin with, and they appeared to be, those safeguards very quickly seem to be abandoned. And we have examples from other jurisdictions. Belgium, for example, when it was first started there in 2003, had 320 cases of physician-assisted suicide. Last year had over 2,000. If you're to extrapolate those numbers to Canada, which is roughly 3 times the population of Belgium, it could actually lead to a very high number, up to 6,000 Canadians dying by physician-assisted death. And in my opinion, that would be a national tragedy. I believe that we can do better. We can offer palliative care. In fact, I think if we're going to offer physician-assisted death, we need to be sure that palliative care is not only offered, but is available. We often talk about we need to have access to our medical facilities and medical treatment. Well, if we're going to offer access to physician-assisted death, we can't do that really and provide a clear choice unless we're also offering good access to palliative care and better mental health services, especially for those who are vulnerable.
Harold Albrecht, a Conservative Member of Parliament and member of the Special Joint Committee on Physician-Assisted Dying. Mr. Albrecht, thanks very much for speaking with us.
Thank you very much for having me.